Yo, what is up? So, I'm now looking at Stalker 2 FSR 4 on the 97 XT. So I've pretty much done the same settings, well exactly the same with FSR 4 quality, although it doesn't say it there, but what happens is I'll open it up in the Adrenaline software, because I've noticed with this game it doesn't go green as in active until you load into the actual gameplay itself. So I'll just double check. Not sure if it comes up with I'm recording, but yeah. So one issue I do have with the Adrenaline app is when you first load it up, it does seem to take its time to come up. That is one annoying thing that I think AMD needs to fix, that, because it can be a bit buggy at first. So I've just got to wait for that to come up. So I don't want to do it when it's not enabled, obviously. Right, so that is active, so that is good. Right, so first thing I'll do is I'll have a look in it. Don't seem to be as CPU limited. I always find that seems, well, obviously the 4090 is a lot more powerful anyway, so it will be more CPU limited. But even as I said, it is very demanding on the CPU in this NBC area. But back to what we was looking at. So let's look at the hair, the detail on the faces. Yeah, I mean, it's very, very close to DLSS 4. I think there's just a slight edge in stability, which is what I've said before in other games, and yeah, probably a slight edge, definitely a slight edge with the texture detail on the faces. So those are the two things I notice. Again, it's not looking, I mean, it makes it sound like it's not great on FSR 4 when you say it like that, but it's really good on the FSR 4. It's just there is a slight difference if I'm comparing the two. So there's nothing wrong with it. I mean, you would, if you hadn't, say I didn't use DLSS 4 before, I'd be looking at that and thinking, yeah, there's nothing wrong with that at all. So yeah, I mean, it's just good how FSR 4 has come, how close it's come to DLSS 4 is ridiculous. When there's only like 1 to 2% difference, or no difference. One thing I did notice on this guy, there's a few sort of artifacts on his hair, but I noticed that more in DLSS 4. So I don't know if this definitely seems to be a game issue with I'm not really noticing it as much. I saw like two sort of white speckles on the right. Saw it again there. I was noticing that more on DLSS 4, so I'm not sure what that's about. Something to do with the AI, like, I don't know what he's going. That seems to be a game issue. I think that's just slightly more unstable on the FSR 4. So it's just stuff like that. But when you look at it, when you compare it to FSR 3, I mean, TSR, as I said, I don't like that because it blurs everything out totally. So it's just, I'm pretty much, I mean, I've been comparing them a lot lately, DLSS 4, and with the latest updates it just seems to be, there is a slight edge with stability and just texture, finer details on faces. Clothing usually looks the same when I'm looking at clothes, but it seems to be when I'm looking at like NPC faces or just game character faces, there is a slight edge, but the average person wouldn't notice it. They really wouldn't. I mean, it's looking great on there. there's nothing wrong with it. It's just I do notice a slight edge, as I've said, with some detail, but it looks great anyway. So I think it's just rightly so the DLSS 4 has been praised a lot for the finer detail, and I'm seeing that, to be fair myself. He's really good at bringing out the finer details. But as I said, so the latest version of DLSS 4, I'd say that is actually, I'm quite liking that. But when it first came out, it was too overly sharp, so they went a bit too extreme with it. So it looks like they've sorted it out. So when I'm looking at DLSS 4, it's not as overly sharp in the recent games I've tested. So I don't like things when I like a sharp image, but I don't like it when it's overly sharp because it looks bad. But so I think I mean, I'm really not. It's really hard to tell the difference. You got to look very closely. And I'm comparing FSR 4 and DLSS 4 on this game and quite a few other games. So the good thing is neither are bad at all. They're both very good upscale. I mean, the upscalers this generation is what's impressed me the most. I haven't been impressed with the uplift on the graphics cards themselves in terms of performance, but what I am impressed with is the upscalers. As I said, frame generation. I'm not whatever. That's a whatever thing for me. It should be. I don't think it should be locked behind a new GPU. Like, I don't think. I think it's just a feature that should be in an app, like the Nvidia app or whatever, and then you can just enable it. So I don't. For me, the upscalers is the biggest thing. For me, that's been the biggest game changer, because you can even go DLSS performance or FSR performance on the latest versions, and it's still looking really good, where that wasn't happening before. On DLSS 3, especially FSR 3, it got even worse. You can gain performance back. Yeah, there's just a slight edge with a DLSS 4, I'd say, when I'm looking at this guy. So let's get the gun out. Have a look at the trees. You literally got to really look closely to see a difference most of the time. That they're looking pretty much the same, I'd say. Nothing wrong with that. That's looking pretty nice. Maybe a slight bit of instability compared to DLSS 4, but nothing major. So that's what I'm seeing, really. There is. I mean, it's not something people should worry about, I don't think. In terms of the game, it did look. There was a lot of artifacts in the game at first and stuff like that, but I think both upscalers are doing a really good job now. So yeah, I mean, it is impressive that FSR 4 is just literally so close to the DLSS 4. They just need to, I think in the next version they need to just improve stability more, maybe bring a slightly bit more texture detail out if they want to literally match DLSS 4. I think that's what they got to do, that's what they got to work on. Everything else is looking pretty good. So them white speckles seems to be a game issue. Although I did see that on the Rebirth, with these sort of white artifacts on over a character. So, and I did notice that to be worse on the DLSS 4 when I'm looking at this game. On this one, I can hardly see it really, but I'm pretty sure I was noticing that in the part 1 of this Stalker 2 review. So I'd say that is the one thing in a FSR 4's favour, because I'm not really noticing it. Yeah, that was more visible on DLSS 4, but then DLSS 4 is winning in other areas like just more edge stability and more texture detail. All that is a very small difference. So, I mean, you got to be an enthusiast really to notice that sort of thing. So that's pretty much it. Yeah, I mean, if anyone would have told me they'd be that close, it would be hard to believe. But nah, I'm seeing it myself. So, and they both will get better because, as I said in part 1, DLSS 4 is going to improve and so is FSR 4. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.